B, but me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to my continued wall-to-wall coverage of the 2020 NFL free agency period. The tampering period has started just about a little over 5 hours ago, and it has been bananas today. Trades galore, rumors on the internet via social media. Stephon Diggs potentially wants out of Minnesota, sending cryptic tweets. It's crazy, but this deal here is crazy as well. So let's jump into it. The Indianapolis Colts ship off their first round pick in 2020, the 13th overall selection, to the San Francisco 49ers. In exchange, they will receive all-world defensive tackle DeForest Buckner. They've already agreed to a deal that will pay this man a whopping $21 million per year. Second highest defensive paid lineman, second highest defensive paid player in the league behind one Aaron Donald. Never, ever trust a man with two first names. And so this is a massive deal. And it's, you know, what's really funny to me is I hearken back to late in the season, into the postseason run, and I'm breaking down all these 49ers games, and my man Niners fan is jumping on all of these streams, and we're talking back and forth, and he's like, man, this thing just got really tough because DeForest was, you know, stellar last year, and he continues to be really good, but man, I tell you, all right, Eric Armstead is playing like a man possessed, and he's up this year. What do we do? And he didn't know what they were going to do. I always thought all along DeForest Buckner was the guy that was going to remain in San Francisco and that Eric Armstead was the odd man out. I got it all wrong, okay? As soon as they shipped off DeForest Buckner, they did a sign and trade where they gave him the massive deal, then shipped him off to Indianapolis. And so DeForest Buckner, now an Indianapolis Colt, and now in exchange, the 49ers not only hold the 31st pick in the first round of the 2020 NFL draft, they also hold the 13th pick in the 2020 NFL draft. The rich get richer, if you know what I mean. But they've given Eric Armstead a massive new deal in San Francisco to keep him on board. So again, you can't keep everybody. And this is the gift and the curse of drafting as well as the 49ers have over the last 4 years, is that you run into these types of problems, but these are the right problems to have. It means you're getting it right. But the beauty of what they just did is that they had no intentions of keeping both of these guys. It was a one or the other scenario. So what you do is you flip the guy that you weren't going to keep. And it's a tough decision. Both of these players have been exceptional at various times for the 49ers, but 26 years old, going into the prime of his career is DeForest Buckner. You're not going to retain his services, so why not flip him? All right, he's going into the last year of his deal. Why not flip him and allow yourself to get back in a position to draft another DeForest Buckner? If they wanted to draft Javon Kinlaw, they're in perfect position to do that with the 13th overall pick. They're right there, whatever they feel like they need. If they need an elite wide receiver, if Kyle Shanahan wants to go get a dude, as he likes to call it, all right, a baller, as he likes to call it, at the receiver position, he's in the prime position to do exactly that. They moved on from Marquise Goodwin. They could go draft Henry Ruggs right now and replace him and maybe even upgrade that position. So the 49ers put themselves in the driver's seat to get something elite and then double back in the back end of the first round and get some more elite stuff in the first round. Meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts continue to build a bully on the defensive side of the football. This falls right in line with the Chris Ballard method of building a football team. He's always been a guy that wants to build from the defensive side of the football. I absolutely love what Chris Ballard has done with this roster. Last year, I didn't think that the Colts were going to fold after the announcement of Andrew Luck retiring, and they didn't. They were in the thick of things for much of the season, especially after the really good start they got off to. Then they kind of hit a lull there in the middle of the season and kind of tapered off. They fought like hell, and it was because this defense kept them in ball games. Now, the real question with this trade out of the first round means what are you thinking at the quarterback position? Now, we've heard rumors that they're already talking to Phillip Rivers, but nothing's concrete. All right, nothing's imminent, it seems like, but they're in discussions with Phillip Rivers. And so that tells me, with the combination of that plus this trade, tells me they're not looking for a young quarterback at this moment. They still believe Jacoby Brissett can help them, but not the way that we anticipated last year when he got that extension. However, they feel like they're ready to win now. They're not looking to go get a rookie or a young guy to come in and compete for a job. They're looking to win, now. And this trade tells me that they're not worried about drafting a quarterback in the first round of this draft. They're looking to go get one of these veterans. And whether that's a Jameis Winston, I don't think they want to touch him. Okay, they're looking for a guy to come in. But hell, if you're talking to Phillip Rivers, Jameis Winston isn't that far off. Both of them will throw it to the other team. All right. And if you ask me, Winston's got way more talent at this point of his career than that of Phillip Rivers. And maybe the eye surgery does something for Jameis. I don't know. I can tell you this much. They're looking for a veteran out there. They're not looking for a young guy to come in here and compete. They're looking for a veteran because they think they have a good enough team to win now. And if you look at the roster that they've built over the last 3 years under Chris Ballard, they're in a position, if guys stay healthy, with all the talent that they've surrounded the quarterback with now. I love Marlon Mack. I love what they have at some of their skill positions. I think they need to do something at tight end. But when you look at those receivers, T.Y. Hilton, and if they can ever get Deion Kane to stay healthy, and you throw in your second-round pick out of Ohio State last year, Campbell, and all of those guys, it's talent over there, man. And so you get to the defensive side of the football. You got 11 sacks out of Justin Houston last year, which was crazy. You look at a stud at the linebacker position. To me, one of the better inside linebackers in the entire NFL. And then you start stockpiling guys around that young nucleus, and you add in a DeForest Buckner now, and all of a sudden, things are starting to fall into place for the Indianapolis Colts. It's a big deal for them. And you get this guy, you're going to pay him a boatload of money, but he is one of those interior defensive linemen that impacts games on a weekly basis. There aren't many of them in this league. You can count them on one hand. He's one of those guys. He's dominant. He's going to be paid like a dominant defensive player, and hopefully he plays and performs like one for the Indianapolis Colts. A massive deal both ways. The 49ers are going to get a chance to really enhance their team with 2 first-round picks, including one now really smack dab in the middle of the first round. Gives them an opportunity to get some real elite stuff. So they're not really going to feel the sting of finishing second to last, all right? They're not going to feel the sting of being a runner-up with that 32nd or 31st overall pick in the first round, because now they've got the 13th pick in the first round. The 49ers, it's a hell of a move for a team that I don't think was having any intentions of bringing back both of these behemoth defensive tackles. It was one or the other. They flipped one of them, got a first round pick. It's a big move by John Lynch and his crew. And on the other end of this deal, Chris Ballard and his group, adding to a defense that already has Darius Leonard, that already has some of the other guys that you've really showed. Some of the other young guys that you've drafted. You got the kid from Stanford last year that I thought played well, and some other young guys on that football team. And you add a DeForest Buckner in there. I still think you've got some question marks in the secondary, but if you're able to keep everyone healthy, get some more guys out there that can get after the quarterback, because Justin Houston, I don't know if you can count on 11 sacks from him again moving forward, but if you continue to build, you've drafted a bunch of guys like a Ben Banagou last year, you continue to add in a bunch of these young talented football players, including the DeForest Buckner, it could change the tide of this Colts football team sooner rather than later. Big move for both teams. I like the deal for both teams, to be honest with you. And so now the real question is, what do the Colts do at quarterback? I think that's the one question now you have after they moved on from their first round pick is, what do you do at quarterback? Maybe they still ultimately do draft a quarterback. Maybe they like a guy that they think they could get in the second or the third or the fourth. They've got 2 second-round picks, which makes this easier to do. Because they've got the Redskins' second-round pick and their own second-round pick, They're right there sitting at the top of the second round. This makes it a lot easier to move on from your first round pick, knowing that you've got 2 seconds. And if need be, if you really love a guy, and this is not the MO of Chris Ballard, he's more likely to move back than up. But if you actually absolutely love a guy and want to have that 5th-year option as a first-round pick, you could package up 2 picks, a second and a third or something along those lines to get back into the first round and still have another second-round pick to make a selection. So a lot of interesting things here for the Colts to decide. None more important than the quarterback position. I think they're going to do something in free agency, and I think all signs point to Phillip Rivers at this point. Anyway, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. This day 1 tampering period has been insane. We've got so much more to discuss. We'll be live tonight, breaking all of this stuff down at around 8 p.m. Let's set it at 8 for right now. It could be 8:30, but you'll know I'll have that live feed set up for you guys. And in any event, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not, I repeat, not the best NFL coverage it could be. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content. Man, this is a big deal here for both teams involved. We'll see how it works out for both parties. What the 49ers do with that 13th overall pick, and what does DeForest Buckner do for the Indianapolis Colts? We will see. Time will tell. As of right now, I like the deal for both teams involved. Leave it in the comment section. What do you think about this deal? DeForest Buckner off to Indianapolis, getting a massive deal, paying him $21 million per year. In exchange, the 49ers get the 13th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. I'll look forward to your comments in the comment section. Make sure you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'll check you guys later. Have a good one. Louie T Network.